Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. What an honor to have been asked to welcome you and to say the prayer this morning to get everything kicked off. As I look around, I see faces including Joe and Vera. Many of you who have been on countless trips, generational families who've been a part of Faith and Practice. It's a beautiful crowd. Vibrance is the name of our luncheon, and we have the sun after the rain and all these beautiful colors. I couldn't think of a better way to describe our luncheon today, and we're honored that you're here with us today. I'm Abigail Berkman, a board member and volunteer of Faith and Practice. Actually going to Guatemala next week with my husband on Dr. Parsley's team. One of the largest orthopedic teams. We're at 51 team members. Oh, 50, how many? 54. I'm sorry, 54 team members next week that are going to be traveling to Guatemala with us. Not only are you here with us, but I'm very excited to let y'all know that we have our guest remotely with us for the very first time this year and are so grateful that you're joining us. So in addition to everyone in the room, we have teams and volunteers and donors from all over the country joining us today. So shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we are excited today to talk about the new beginnings, the next chapter, the next generation of Faith and Practice. In response to God's call, Faith and Practice is celebrating over 30 years of life-changing medical missions, serving the people of Guatemala. And today, we get to shine light on the generational impact of Faith and Practice. And when we reflect on the past 30 years, think about the number of not just individual patients, but how the work that God is doing through Faith and Practice then impacts families, communities, and the entire country. It's beautiful work that's being done, and so honored that you're here to celebrate it with us today. I am grateful to have one of the youngest and my favorite supporter and future volunteer of Faith and Practice here with us today, my daughter Avery.
I've grown up with my parents traveling to Guatemala my whole life. Faith and Practice isn't just a mission to me, it's a part of my family. I raised money for Faith and Practice through book sales, lemonade stands, which has been rewarding, but I'm really excited about getting to volunteer on a trip to Guatemala when I'm older, so I can help take care of patients like the little girl you're about to meet in the video who's about my age. Please join me in prayer. Dear God, thank you for bringing us together today to rejoice in you and your work through Faith and Practice. Help us today to open our hearts to love and support, and to open our hands to serve so that we can continue to follow your word and do your work in healing the people of Guatemala. Thank you for this generation and next. We're grateful for your many blessings. Amen.
Amen. Thank you again so much for being here with us today. We have an incredible program for you. Our new fierce leader and CEO, Ben, is going to be addressing us after lunch, but please take the time to visit with everyone at your table, enjoy your lunch, and you will be hearing from Ben shortly. Thank you again.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming today. My name is Ben Nadasape, and I have the deep honor of being the CEO of Faith and Practice. Thank you. So it means the world to me and our entire Faith and Practice family that you all have chosen to spend this time with us today. I want you to know that your presence is more than just attendance. It's a bold statement that you believe that healing is holy. So at this time, I have the incredible joy of introducing our host committee. I'll ask that you all please join me in recognizing the following individuals by holding your applause until the very end. And for the host committee, we'll please ask that you remain standing until the last name is called. Ladies and gentlemen, your host committee, Jennifer Anderson and Dr. Terrence Anderson, Catherine Ashkenazi and Dr. Eric Ashkenazi, Dr. Robin Beach and David Beach, Abigail Berkman and Dr. Eric Berkman, Dr. Priscilla Foss and Shane Foss, Sherry Harvin and Dr. William Harvin. Ladies and gentlemen of the host committee, we thank you for your incredible support. Thank you all. So I'm new to Faith and Practice, but the mission, that had been in my heart long before I had any title. You see, when I was 6 years old, I had the unfortunate pleasure of watching someone I loved suffer, not just from diabetes, but from a lack of access to care. My grandmother had lost her sight, had lost her legs, but not once did she lose her faith in God, even upon her death. I would sit with her as she sung hymns by the window in excruciating pain. Those bittersweet but yet tender moments left a calling deep within my soul. That calling was to forever work with people who had no access to health care. Years later, God brought me to Faith and Practice. Faith and Practice, an incredible organization doing extraordinary work that I'd longed to do since I was 6 years old, delivering care with compassion, healing with dignity, and doing it all under the name of God. You see, Faith and Practice is not just a nonprofit, it's a movement of doctors, donors, volunteers, and partners, including all of you in this room and those listening online. What makes this movement extraordinary, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it. We go to places where hope and healing are very, very scarce, but we bring it in abundance. We don't just perform surgeries, we restore dignity. We don't just treat illness, we uplift the human spirit. We are welcomed into homes and into hearts, and in every village, every clinic, every hospital corridor, we get to witness something so sacred, and that's the presence of God in the work of healing. We're not there because it's easy. We're not even there because it's right. We're there because God's love requires us to show up for the least of these. So in closing, I've had a lot of time to reflect on why this mission means so deeply and moves me so deeply. It's because in many ways, I see myself in the people we serve. And that's what makes this mission so personal. When I walk the hallways and hospitals in Guatemala, or I hear the prayers of mothers and fathers, or I hear the laughter of children, I don't see patience. I see my purpose. I see Jesus walking, not in distant stories, but in real moments, in healing hands, in every smile, in each of you, through all your prayers, sometimes whispered in different languages, but all going to the same one God. Through faith and practice, Jesus walks. Through each of you, he keeps walking. In just a moment, we're going to share a video of a little girl whose life has been forever changed by our mission. As you watch the video, I invite you to open your heart. Let it break a little. Let it feel a lot. And if something stirs within you, let it lead you. Because when we honor God and put our faith in practice, lives are healed. Thank you all so much.
Yo sí me siento mal, pues, ver ella, sus amigos van a la escuela y juegan en la cancha y ella sentadita solo viendo. Eso da tristeza. Eso a mí me duele porque no camina y nosotros así como apenas caminamos. Ella quiere hacer como niño normal, pero no camina. Al ver, quisiera ella, quiere caminar, pero no camina. Pero esperen Dios, usted nos apoye. Que camine.
You know, when we interview these patients, they have waited for so long. The healthcare system here it's not enough. It's not enough for all the people.
Some people traveled 17 hours to come have orthopedic surgery, and you know, it's really a huge effort to try and get care and get access to care, at least in Guatemala.
¿Cómo te llamas? María. ¿Y te dicen Mafe? ¿O si te dicen María Fernanda completo?
Allá en mi casa me dicen...
¿Cómo te dicen? Bebé.
No.
Mi niña. ¿Cómo te dicen? Mafer. ¿Caminas? ¿Caminas un poquito o no caminas?
Un poquito.
Un poquito. ¿Y no te duele? ¿Dónde?
Aquí, en los dos.
¿En los dos? ¿Dónde? Aquí. ¿En esos dos?
So Faith in Practice was born with the idea of helping people in Guatemala. There were a lot of people in need of a surgery. So Vera and Joe, they came from the States. They had an idea of helping our people doing surgeries.
Faith in Practice has become the third largest healthcare delivery system in the whole country, treating over 20,000 people a year. It's really incredible. So to start with Joe and Vera Wyatt 30 years ago, with someone asking them to come help, and Vera tells the story, well, she says, well, of course we said yes. You know, God's calling us to come help. As simple as that.
It really does take a village. There's a lot of people involved, like medical and non-medical administration. Yeah, it really does take a lot of logistics and work. We have long days ahead, but they are really, really worth it.
The thing here is that it not feels like this is one organization, this is another organization, and this is the hospital. No, it feels here like we are all a family, we are all a team, and we are working for the patients to provide the things that they need.
Feliz.
¿Te sientes feliz? ¿Te sientes contenta?
Sí.
¿Que vas a poder ir a hacer todo lo que hacen todos los otros niños?
Sí.
¿Sí?
Sí.
It's nice to say you're going to come somewhere and do this missionary work, but getting it all set up is the most difficult part. You have to have boots on the ground. You have to have somebody who's here accessing the patients that require the surgery you're providing.
So that's why it's so important to create a partnership where we can take that, we can do the follow. We are going to be in touch of all the patients.
La cirugía de ayer fue excelente porque salió la nena con todo bien, salió. Gracias a Dios que ahorita que salió bien, ella no tiene mucho dolor. Y gracias también por la silla, es la ayuda bastante también. Cuando el doctor dijo que entre una semana que ella va a reposar y se puede ir a la escuela con silla de ruedas. Apoyo con eso, lo agradezco mucho a ese apoyo de ustedes. Gracias a Dios que salió bien toda la cirugía.
We need more operating rooms, we need more volunteers, we need more resources in order to take the mission to the next level.
It's very, very important for all the people that help and collaborate and donate about these organizations like Faith in Practice. It really changed their life. It really does. So we can make a better impact and we can get to more people.
Thank you so much. What a moving video. It's humbling to be up here. It's such an honor to come up here and talk about faith and practice. Faith and practice has been a big part of my life for the past 20 years. I look back, I've spent close to 40 weeks of service with Faith and Practice in Guatemala. It's been a true honor. It's an honor to work with an organization that you can trust, an organization that you can see the benefits of. An organization that it's like a tree that is planted that is yielding great fruit. And that fruit is in human capital. It's in changed lives of people. It's in changed hearts of volunteers. It has reaped returns on the investment that are unspeakable. It's amazing. And it keeps growing and getting better and better every year. We have leadership that loves people, loves God, and does such an incredible service to people in Guatemala and beyond. You know, recently I was being interviewed by someone and they sent me some questions. And one of the questions really sort of hit me hard, and it was, Dr. Boutros, how do you quantify success? How do you quantify success in your life? And it was an interesting question, one of those questions that makes you stop and pause and really reflect on what life has been for you at this stage and what life means. What does success look like? And I stopped and I thought about the question, and I thought about it very clearly, and I said, how do I define success? How can we define success? And for me at least, I saw that there were three things that I had to identify for success. The world, everyone around us, everyone from Wall Street to Main Street looks at financial remuneration. That's a way you can generate success and you can measure success. And that's the way I think most of the world, and to be honest, most of us probably stress that of the three ways. The second way is personal satisfaction. I think of my friend who's an artist who takes great satisfaction in making a painting and just loves the process of doing their art. I mean, no one actually buys the art, so but there is great personal satisfaction, and personal satisfaction is a way that we measure success. But then there's the final way. And I look at people in this room, people like Ben, people like Maria, people like Javier. I look at them and they measure success on how they change the world around them, on their impact on people and the world. Now, not everyone can go and spend a week down in Guatemala and do surgery. Not everyone can go and volunteer and build wheelchairs. And not everyone thinks about the 3 ways that we can measure success. But I think a lot of people in this room does. A lot of people in this room do think about success and what that really means and impacting the world around them and what that impact means. Because I do not believe that any one person can stress one area of that success and ignore the others. All 3 are important. And today, we as a group, and you at home that are watching on video, have an opportunity to achieve success, not in your own life, not in your own sphere, but in impacting people around you. And that's the beauty of faith and practice. Faith and practice has shown over my experience for the past 20 years, and what I think will go on for well after I'm gone, understanding how to effectually impact the world. Because we don't want to leave it the same, and we sure as heck don't want to leave it worse. Let's leave it a little better. We all had that opportunity today. Every single person in this room. I talked to Ben beforehand. In order to accomplish what faith and practice wants to accomplish, they have to have financial resources. That first measure of success that many in this room do have an abundance of. They needed to raise $75,000 today. It's a big number. There are a little bit over 300 people in this room today. Doesn't take long to do the math. That's about $200 a person. But the best thing about the third number is there's something called a multiplier. And no, it's not some magic donor in the sky that's going to multiply your donation. It's not that. It's God. Like God could take the widow's mite and multiply it, God can take your gifts and multiply those too. And that's the blessing of the impact that we can make today. On your tables, there are QR codes. There are envelopes. I encourage every person here to think about that. Think about the success that we can make, the impact that we can make on people that you may never see. Humbly, prayerfully, and with great gratitude, I thank you so much for your individual support of faith and practice. God bless.
Dr. Brutos mentioned, we do have a goal of raising $75,000. On the screen here, you can kind of see what our current totals are. Please donate if you can, and please everyone have a safe drive home. Happy Mother's Day in advance, and thank you again for coming.